Good day, class. How are we today? Okay, hope we enjoyed our last class. All right, today, still on our revision class, we have some set of questions just to refresh our memory on the topic angles. Okay, I have some of this here. The first one is this. This is the second, and this is the third. All right. Okay, I have a solution here. Okay. All right. Now, in each of these questions, we are to look for the missing angles. We are looking for the missing angles. Okay. For the first one, you will see very well that, let's look at it critically. The missing angle here is just this G. The missing angle is G. So what do we do? What do we do? Okay, and now do we look for G? If you look at this angle here tells us that this angle is 90 degrees. Whenever you see something like this, it tells you that this is 90 degrees. Okay, that means we have this, we have this, we have this. So how do we go about our G? If you look at the whole angle together, you see that it's like they all form something like a circle. So, and this is all the angles, they are just angles at a point. All right, and we know when we learned when we had our class, we said that sum of angles at the point is what? 360 degrees. So therefore, we can use that to calculate our G. So if this is it, sum of angles, sorry, this is number one, sum of angles at a point is what? 360 degrees. So that means by the time we had all these angles, they should give us 360 degrees. So we have 360 degrees, okay? 360 degrees is equals to G plus 90 plus 30 plus 100 plus 30, G degree plus 30, 90 degrees plus 30 degrees plus 100 degrees. Or you can put it this way, if you are a bit confused, sum of angles at a point equals to 360, you can say G degrees plus 90 degrees plus 30 degrees plus 100 degrees is equals to 360 degrees. It's still the same thing. Whether I say A plus B or B plus C, you're still correct. Okay? Now, we don't know what letter G is, so we now write it out. We just write it out. Okay? 90 plus 30 is 120. 120 plus 100 is what? 220. So G plus 220 degrees is equals to 360 degrees. My dear students, so what do we do here? How do we get our G? What we do is subtract what? Subtract this angle from both sides. It's just like saying G plus 220 degrees minus 220 degrees. Whatever you do to this side, do it on to this side as well. So we have 360 degrees minus 220 degrees. So what I have here is G degrees is equal to, because this cancels out, G degrees equals to 360 minus 220. And 360 minus 220, what will it give us? It will give us what? 140 degrees. So our G is equal to 140 degrees. If you have any question on this, please you can post it to me on our group. Is that okay? That's for number one. Then for number two, we are doing our number two solution. We are treating number two solution here. Now look at it. We have a lot of unknown angles. They look somehow, right? But we're going to pick them one after the other, and they're very, very simple. Now, we have unknown angles. We have N degrees, we have Q, we have R, and we have P. Remember, whenever you have something like this tells that this is the right angle and it's equal to 90 degrees. So this is settled. This angle here is settled. Now you pick it one after the other. Now, if you look at N and 34 degrees here, what do you notice? They are vertically opposite angles. So we can say that, this is our number two, so we can say that N degrees is equal to 34 degrees. So you put it in bracket, vertically opposite angles. That is the reason for your answer. So that justifies your answer. Is that okay? So we have done with this. Now, what do we do again? If you look at this 90-degree here, this P and this 34, all of these angles, they are on a straight line. And please, can you remember what we talked about sum of angles on the straight line? By the time sum of angles on the straight line is what? 180 degrees. That means by the time you add this 90, this is 90 degrees, pardon me, by the time you add this 90 degrees plus this P plus 34, it should give you 180 degrees. So we can say 90 plus P degrees plus 34 should give you 180. And the reason for this is sum of angles in a straight line. Sum of angles on a straight line. So let's treat this. What is 90 plus 34? It should be 124. 124 degree plus P will give us 180 degrees. So how do you get your P? You say P is equal to, that's P degrees equal to 180 minus 124 degrees. 180 minus 124 degrees. So what will this give us? 180 minus 120 is 60. 60 minus 4, that gives you 56 degrees. So our P is equal to 56 degrees if you solve it well. So we'll be able to calculate our N, our P. Now we are left with Q and R. So how do we go about this? Very, very simple. If you look at this angle R is opposite to this 90 degrees. So you can as well say that R is equal to 90 degrees. And what is the reason? Because they are vertically opposite angles. Is that all right? So we can say that R is equal to 90 degrees. And the reason for this is vertically opposite angles. That justifies your answer. Is that all right? So we've looked for all this except this Q. Except this Q. Now, if you look at the angles on this side of this straight line, this angle N, Q, and R, they all fall on this straight line. That means we can say sum of angles on the straight line is equal to 180. That means since we have our N is what? 34 degrees. We have our R to be 90 degrees. Now we can calculate our Q with that. So that makes it very, very, very simple. Okay? So we can say at this point, we can say that N plus Q plus R is equal to 180 degrees. N plus Q plus R is equal to 180 degrees. And the reason for this is what? Sum of angles on the straight line. On the straight line. Okay. What is our N? Our N is 34. 34. What is our Q? Do we have Q? No. Write it down. Do we have our R? Yes. What is our R? R is 90 degrees. Everything equals to 180 degrees. Okay. So by the time you add up this, 34 plus 90 should give us 124. So 124 plus Q is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, Q is equal to 180 minus 124. And if you do your calculation properly, it's going to give us 56 degrees. So our Q is equal to 56 degrees. With that, you can see that we've been able to calculate all the angles in that. Okay, so that's that about our number 2. Please, if you have any question, you can send it to me or post it to me on the chat. Is that all right? All right, we are in number 3. We are done with 1 and 2. And now in our number 3 question. Now, if you look at this, it's a bit technical, but very, very, very simple. Here we have angle V, angle S, angle TUR67. Imagine, how do we get about this? We have about 5 angles to calculate, and we are given only one out of all the 6 angles. So how do we do it? Very, 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 very simple. Now we are applying our knowledge of corresponding angles, alternate angles, and that, or our knowledge of angles on a straight line. Okay, so this is it. This is where we start from. If you look at angle R and this 67, both lie on a straight line. So we can say that R plus 67 is equal to what? 180 degrees. Okay? And the reason for that is what? Sum of angles on a straight line. Sum of angles on a straight line. Okay? So R will be equal to what? 180 minus 67. Okay? And that gives us what? Can someone give me the answer? Is equal to 53 degrees, sorry. Is it? No. 180 minus 60 is 120. 120 minus 7 is 113 degrees. Are we correct? Yes. So we are done with that R, okay? Now, the next thing is, if you look at R and U, R and U are alternate to each other. And we said that alternate angles are equal. So if R is equal to 113, therefore U will also be 113. So U is equal to R. That's U is equal to 113 degrees. And the reason for this is what? Alternate angles. So that settles it. Okay. That's for U. And if you look at angle T as well, it's also alternate to 67 degrees. So you can say that T is equal to 67 degrees. And the reason for this is what? Alternate angles. Okay, you can see that we have been able to solve it. We are now solving it one after the other. And you can see that they are very simple, only for you to understand the principles. Is that okay? All right, let's come to this side. We are done with this. Now to this side, what can you say about it, or how do you solve it? How can you relate it with the angles on this side? Okay, what we do is you draw an imaginary line. This place as well, you draw an imaginary line. Okay, it makes it better or easier. Okay, if you look at angle V, you will see it better. You see it this way, that angle V is corresponding to U. We know when we talk about corresponding angles, say corresponding angles are equal. And when you say two angles are corresponding, that means they are on the same side, the same position of different lines. If you look at this angle V is on this straight line. This angle U as well is on this straight line. Is that okay? So we can say that V is equal to U, and the reason for that is corresponding angles. V is equal to U. That is V, and what's the value of our U? We said our U is what? 113 degrees. V is equal to U, that V is equal to 113 degrees. And the reason is for this is that they are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. So that settles it. Okay. Now, if we look at angle S is also corresponding to 67. It's on this line. 67 is also on this line. So we can say that our S is equal to 67. Sorry. S is equal to 67 degrees. Yes. S is equal to 67 degrees. And the reason for this is what? Corresponding angles as well. Corresponding angles, and we said that for corresponding angles, they are always equal. Same thing with alternate and vertically opposite angles. I hope you had a nice time. I hope you enjoyed the class. Please do chat me up if you have questions. Thank you for listening. God bless.